Hi everyone, my name is Andrew Leavold from Trash Video Archives, welcoming you to the new phase of Trash Video. We used to be a video store here in Brisbane, in Australia, between 1995 and 2010. Almost 25 years ago to the date, we opened up the store in Fortitude Valley, just under the zoo, and we stayed there for about 5 years. Then we moved to West End, on the other side of the Brisbane River, and we were there for 10 years. And then 10 years ago, almost to the day, we closed the doors for the last time, and I went and became a filmmaker instead, and ended up going around the world with my documentary Search for Wang Wang and a couple of other film projects and a book version of the Wang Wang film. And then COVID hit. Right when I was in the middle of two different films, one in Melbourne and one in Manila, and I found that I couldn't go to work in either country or state. So all of a sudden, with the gun to my head, the question was, what was I going to do now? And of course, I went back to what I used to do, which was selling cult movies. So we used to be a sizable rental library with about 20,000 movies, both on VHS and DVD. Actually, mainly VHS, which is probably the reason why we went out of business. Now the big change is we've moved online, and we're now an e-store that is entirely selling stuff. And if you could imagine that we've just given birth to a little monster with 5 tentacles, those tentacles being the 5 things that we do. One is selling new local and imported DVDs and Blu-rays, obviously. The second thing we do is sell pre-loved and out-of-print DVDs and Blu-rays. The third tentacle are the old videotapes, the rarer of which we're selling now on eBay each week as part of Trash Video Archives' Dirty Dozen. And you'll find some amazing stuff in there, going reasonably cheaply. The fourth thing we do is we now print our own t-shirts, and this was the one we did for November, a beautiful rendition of the Lucio Fulci 1981 Italian zombie film The Beyond, and that one's been going absolutely gangbusters. This week, for December 2020, we've got 2 new designs. Another Palace Explosive video cover. So this is probably one of the most collectible of Australian video labels. And this month's design is the great Antonio Margheriti's Cannibal Apocalypse. Rendered full color, screen printed onto black, good quality t-shirts. And if you love Italian splatter like we do, this is an absolute must for your wardrobe. Plus, we have the first in a series of Mexican cult movie t-shirts, and this one is an absolute beaut. The Mexican one sheet for Santo versus the Vampire Women. One of the best Santo films, one of the best Santo posters, and now 7 colors on a good quality black t-shirt. $35 Australian plus postage, which works out to just over $20 US. Postage would probably cost you around about another 20, so you're looking at around $40 US to have it posted internationally. Not bad. And I hope you take up the offer. Now, speaking of Mexico, we also have a box coming in regularly from Mexico City, and we are importing Mexican wrestling masks. So we've got classics like El Santo and Blue Demon. So you can stage your own Santo versus Blue Demon matches. We have about another 30-something masks in stock at the moment, including this absolutely terrifying one. Imagine that coming at you in your sleep. I can't quite remember the name of it. I think it might be El Psychopath or something like that. But Anyway, that's definitely one of the most unusual, with its faux mohawk. Real classy stuff. Now, this week, a pile of movies turned up from the US, and it's our first ever deep dive into an overseas label, and I'm very pleased that that label just happens to be Mondo Macabro. Not only is it one of my favorite labels as far as the films that they release, and on it you have everything from bizarre European genre cinema from Jess Franco, Paul Naschy, Joe D'Amato, Lucio Fulci, but you also get the stranger stuff like Greek exploitation films. You get a Pakistani vampire film, The Living Corpse, and this one, which has got to be one of my favorite Southeast Asian horror films, Mystics in Bali, aka the flying head with guts attached eating unborn babies movie. Absolutely insane, and in a gorgeous widescreen print, courtesy of Mondo Macabro. Now, I also did the bonus features for one of their releases called Silip back in 2007, Filipino sex horror film, which is sadly out of print. But I can tell you now that I've done some work for Mondo Macabro next year. I can't tell you what the release is, but all will be revealed early 2021. So speaking of bonus features, another box turned up from North America this week, and inside the box were titles from Criterion Collection, Warner Archives, Synapse, Blue Underground. It's basically a taster menu of all of the labels that we're going to be able to import on a regular basis from North America. But there was also a pile of movies from Severin, our good friends at the American label Severin, and two of the releases were films that I did bonus features for: the Filipino vampire double, The Blood Drinkers and Curse of the Vampires. This one has my interview with its assistant director, Dick Trofeo. And this one, not only does it have my interview, my filmed interview with its co-star, Eddie Garcia, filmed just before Eddie passed away, sadly, last year, but it also has a 90-minute ramble by yours truly about Jared De Leon, his other films, this vampire duo, and Filipino cinema in general. And also on Severin is this one that I did the filmed interview for its star Jim Gaines Jr., one of the ubiquitous faces of Filipino B films. And this is a particular delight. Bruno Mattei's rip-off of both RoboCop and Predator, filmed in the Filipino jungle in 1988. And it is as insane as that sounds. This one is first of 3,000, and you also get a soundtrack CD with the Blu-ray. Not sure if it's got all the blip blip noises from the Robo War Cop on it, but it's still a beautiful thing to have. And a fourth Blu-ray that I did the bonus features for last year was this one, also from the Philippines, Eddie Romero's 1973 Fishmen with Ping Pong Balls for Eyes film, Beyond Atlantis.
You will mate! You will mate!
On which my colleague Howard S. Berger and I wax lyrical about Eddie Romero and Eddie's other films. So please consider these for your Christmas stocking. Now, I talked before about the 5 tentacles, and I didn't mention the 5th tentacle. I can tell you right now that that 5th tentacle is stuff. And that's not just books, magazines, posters, lobby cards, ephemera, but we also do weekly eBay listings called the Dirty Dozen. So 12 new things every week. And this week, we have a special Merry Trashmas edition. where we've pulled out some really unusual items. And this week, Santa's sack well and truly doth runneth over. For instance, you get the original Betamax edition of Star Wars, the Australian Betamax release from around about 1980, plus the cut down Super 8, as well as that of Empire Strikes Back. Now there's more VHS, like the Palace Explosive copy of 2000 Maniacs in absolutely mint condition, and a G.G. Allen bobblehead. But we also have more Super 8, such as Monster from a Prehistoric Planet. And if you can't play them, I'm also selling a Super 8 projector as well. But for me, this is the piece de resistance. A cut down Super 8 Jess Franco's The Awful Dr. Orloff from England, early 60s. And I doubt you'll be able to find one definitely in this condition. But I think you'd be lucky to find one at all. So check out our eBay listings starting Monday the 14th of December and lasting until Monday the 21st. The eBay listing is in the description just underneath the YouTube video. Click on that, have a look at this week's Dirty Dozen, and hopefully Santa will bring you something really nice this Christmas. Also this week, Wednesday, December the 16th, is the first of our Trash Video Archives monthly screenings at one of Brisbane's 5-star cinemas. So either New Farm, Elizabeth Picture Theatre, or Red Hill Cinemas. So for our very first screening, I've decided to screen my 90-minute compilation of West African horror and action movies called Flying Baptists over Nollywood. So what I've done is taken hundreds of hours of West African films and squished them into a 90-minute compilation. You go from Nigerian Baptist horror films to Overllywood action films. I'm pretty sure you would have seen clips from Who Killed Captain Alex. There's also some documentary stuff about the making of those films. And there's also some amazing Z-grade films from Ghana, from Roxanne Emmanuel and Ninja Productions, which I'll show you a few clips from right now.
What the hell? Holy Pass God! Jesus Kung Fu! New York City? New York City! Oh no!
So this is 90 minutes of some of the wildest frontier cinema that you're ever going to see. This is pretty much the final frontier when it comes to 21st century filmmaking. And I'm sure you're just going to leave absolutely slack-jawed. Doors open at 7:30 at Red Hill Cinema. And our masked DJ, Screaming Meanies, plays Afrobeat tunes while you have a few drinks, because God knows you're going to need them. And then at 8:30, Flying Baptists over Nollywood starts. And this is the start of a monthly program of Trash Video Archives Presents at one of the 3 5-star cinemas around Brisbane. And of course, at some point, we're going to be able to take this stuff on tour, so coming to a cinema near you. Well, that's it for our first missive from Trash Video Archives. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Andrew Leavold. Hopefully I'll be going back to work on either my Melbourne or Manila movie set. But until then, I'll be bringing you more amazing treasures either through eBay or at Brisbane's 5-star cinemas, or via www.trashvideoarchives.com. And remember, this little monster toddler is in its very early stages of infancy. So keep feeding it with your orders, and let's see how quickly this monster grows. Thanks for listening.
People, let me tell you about my best friend.